Have you ever thought to yourself, why am I here? What is my life's purpose? Feeling yourself drawn or called to something that was bigger than where you are right now, but not really knowing exactly what direction that was. This pick a card is for you. It includes messages directly from your spirit guides and angels, teaching you and telling you which direction to go. Before you pick a pile, I would like you to focus, pray, concentrate, and then decide which of these 4 piles do you feel most drawn to? 1, 2, 3, or 4. Take a minute. You ready? All right. Let's get into the reading. Welcome to Born Without Boundaries. Pick a card. What is my purpose? What is my soul's true destiny on this planet? You have been drawn to group 1. So, let's see. Music. Strangers. Roots. And love. So with these dream interpretation cards, what we're doing is finding sort of the external nuances of what your soul's purpose is. Now, music is pretty blatant, pretty obvious, but it also relates directly to Mercury, Gemini, or Virgo energy, which is why these could be your sign, or in some ways you could have found yourself your whole life being drawn to people from these signs, which is kind of saying that even if you didn't know it, you always end up being drawn to people who have that strong mercurial influence in their life, in their chart, or you are one yourself. What that means is communication is your key, especially through things that are more subjective or creative, things that bring people together, or learning through love. Having passionate love affairs with musicians, or because you're a musician with another musician, or you're a writer with another writer, or you're an artist with another artist. But there's this idea that your path is to take really complex ideas and intelligent concepts and translate them into a form that is palpable so that others can connect with it very easily. So that would put you into the realm of somebody who communicates very well through writing or through song, through words of some sort especially, or visuals that somehow incorporate words. Our 2 moon cards, which is basically your emotional construct. It's time to take action, which is you're ready and you have the power and you have the strength. You also have the space in your life to do it. And emotions are running high. So essentially, almost what I said in the beginning of the introduction of the video, you've known what you've wanted to do for a long time. You know that you have these interests and these inclinations for quite some time, but you haven't really felt comfortable doing it, but you're ready now. You're ready to get started. Does that mean that you leave your whole life behind and just start becoming a traveling musician, or quit your day job immediately and become a stand-up comic? No, but what it does mean is you sign yourself up for that first 3 to 5 minute open mic night, right? Whether it would be stand-up comedy or performing your songs. That's my dog. Performing your songs at a local cafe. You don't have to quit your day job. You don't have to lose that root, that attachment that you have to, I mean, Jesus, we need to pay our frickin' bills, right? Of course. And as you know, there are many, many artists that are extremely successful today that had to start with mundane jobs or much more complex jobs. I mean, for God's sake, Jay-Z, who is a Sagittarius, was selling drugs. So Biggie Smalls was as well before he was able to strike it big. I mean, we all come from a specific place and we do what we got to do until we can do what we want to do. I think the point is that now is the time for you to start working on and taking a certain chunk of time out of your energy every single day. It has to be 7 days a week. It has to be fluent so that you can connect with the energy of the universe and say, this is how I want my energy to move. This is how. You can start with 5 minutes and then next week increase it to 10 minutes and then next week increase it to 15 minutes so that by the end of the month, you're committing yourself to a full half hour every single day to write the novel that's been on your mind, or to write songs for your album, or network with local cafes or restaurants that would still allow live music, or and then set up performances, or find those open mic nights and sign yourself up. Even though you're really scared, at least you're going in with a solid set of material by the end of the month. But definitely you've been feeling this ache, this yearning, this longing to get things started. And now it's time. It's like if you feel like you're on the verge of exploding, it's because you have all this creative energy inside of you and it just needs to come out. And even though it may be in a more risky field, nobody who writes a book is guaranteed traditional publishing, right? It's very difficult. And if you self-publish, it's also very difficult to market yourself. So, you know what I mean? There's not, it's not like there's no complications that are in your way, but emotionally now I think you know that it's time. You can't just keep being somebody else. You have to really make a decision to be everything that you want to be. Make sure that that is front and center in your world. Let's move on to the next set of cards. Okay. Alignment. This is definitely communications, because this is like the Ace of Swords, which is overcoming conflict and triumph. And also, in a lot of ways, the sword from the stone, being somebody who is uniquely capable of doing what you're doing. And then we have soul love. This is all about connection. And I do believe that, in some ways, it's almost like in some ways you've connected with people, maybe even you're dating people, or you've always been attracted to people who do these things, primarily because who do what you're interested in, primarily because you want to learn from them and you want advice. And it is actually kind of saying that, not that you're using people, but that networking and starting to incorporate people like you in a more personal role in your life. So yeah, dating people who do what you do to build your network. All of that is kind of very important for you right now, and there should be no shame in it. You're not intentionally using somebody. You are learning from them and you're growing with them. That's a natural part of your progress right now. And then we have whispers. So you've been hearing this calling for a long time. Essentially, or there could be people talking about you, which could be a bit of a concern. Listen, I'm just going to say this to you. there's no way to change your life and to establish yourself on your soul purpose, on your soul path, without discomfort. You are going to break ties. You are going to change friends eventually. Like I said, you don't have to do it all at once, but you will soon see that when you start becoming who you truly are out loud, the people around you start to more closely align to your truth, and you'll be so much happier with them. But the unfortunate reality of that is that older people will drop away, and that's just the truth. And right now there's some sort of tension, or it's not up front yet, is what I'm saying. It just, you can feel it starting to happen. Maybe talk about you, or, you know, people not coming directly to you and saying what they need to say to you, but instead kind of like you finding out after the fact that you were the topic of somebody else's conversation. It's just a testament to the fact that other people can feel your energetic shift toward what it is that you want to do. And ultimately, it is what it is. Divine Feminine, with the rise of the Divine Feminine comes the rise of your soul purpose. It's also a sense of, now with the rise of the Divine Feminine, it's making room for you to be able to do what you want to do. So where you may have been rejected before, your ideas may have been rejected before, ultimately what's happening is the energy is shifting so that that part of you that was suppressed is now coming to the surface, to the point where you can't control it anymore. It's just bubbling out of you. And you need to let that happen, because what's inside of you needs to come out. It needs to be shared with the world. And also, there is that sense of the underdog, those who were ignored or suppressed, now coming to the forefront. So if you've tried this before and been discouraged, this is a good time to keep trying it, and or to pick that instrument up again, or you know, dust off that old manuscript and get back to it, because ultimately this is the time for almost like the universe to do a review. And why did we miss that? Why did we pass that by? Don't give up on yourself. There could be editing that you need to do, most certainly, especially with Mercury still in retrograde. But Mercury is about to come out of retrograde. So ultimately, I think would be really, really just a really good time for you to sort of get back into the swing of things. It's divine timing. I am blessed. This is definitely air energy. Connecting once again to spirit, and focusing on those parts of your life that you are blessed with, and realizing that this talent or skill of communication that you have is a blessing. It's not a curse. Even though there are challenges that it comes with, it most certainly is a blessing. And with this card, I almost feel like you've been getting a lot of communications through, could be dreams, a lot of inspiration lately. You could just, you know, it could like, I don't know, even just walking down the street, or a song that you hear on the radio, there's a sense of spirit has been communicating with you very heavily. And there's no block. There's no veil between it anymore. This is just, especially with Neptune in retrograde, it's just spirit being able to communicate directly to you. So listen and trust. Jade Mountain is here. This is really interesting energy, because this says that you're ready for a new beginning. And that it's almost like you're going to have to take this chance. This is blessings and fortune that is coming to you on this new path or this new road. Don't be afraid of this, because it's something that's very grounded and something that's very destined. And it's very, in other words, something that's very spiritually guided. Flame of inspiration. You're definitely dealing with something that is creative. You're dealing with somebody, and you also got that Aries moon energy too. This is kind of gearing up for taking that push forward and starting to make your moves. This is having a great deal of passion, almost in some ways being in love with what you do. So it's like this strong, really passionate energy. And it's creative. It's 100% creative. So this is not just it's not just a passion for something like data processing or data analysis. This is inspired, creative ideas. That's what this is. There are blessings that are going to start to shower you from above. Maybe stuff that you thought was never going to happen is going to happen. A sense of finally being recognized or finally being noticed, somebody finally seeing you. So it's a really good time, is what this reading is telling you. It's a really good time to put yourself out there, because you will get some really productive attention. Space clearing, getting rid of what doesn't serve you anymore, what is old and doesn't work. And it is scary and it is intimidating, but you will do it, and you have to make room for new. You have to make room. It's interesting that both of these cards come out together. In fact, it's perfect that both these cards come out together, because ultimately you have to make room for something new. And making room for something new is that's what making room for something new is. It's just allowing the old concept of who you are to fall in the background. It doesn't mean that, like I said, you're quitting your day job tomorrow. What it means is that you're stepping up and acknowledging, this is who I am and this is where I belong. So I'm comfortable taking those first steps, and then the second steps, and then the third steps. I'm comfortable starting on the path. That's what it is. And as soon as you starting on the path, you'll be surprised at just how the miracles start to pour in terms of helping you out. Intuition. Something happened on the full moon. Either it was a hookup, a startup, an inspiration. This is emotionally set to burst because it's a full moon. So, and we got that before too, right? In that moon energy double. So you guys have been really feeling this, holding on to this a long time inside of you. And it's just right. Like last night should have been a huge game changer for you, where bam, something just popped and you can't turn back from it. So this is definitely space clearing as well. You ready to let go of like the person that you're not anymore. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's what this is. It's like, you're not this person anymore. You're not. You can't help it. You can't help it. You've changed. And now you're just moving forward. This is interesting, because even though in some ways you have the money and you have outwardly all that it seems that you want, emotionally you don't have it. It could, in fact, there could be a divorce coming, or there has already been an emotional divorce in your private life, where it's going to, like, the assets look good, like you have a secure house, a secure future. This is complicating things, is what I'm saying, because you have those material things outwardly that make it so difficult to risk. Or, you know, like, why would I want to change my life when I already have my house and I have what looks like the perfect family? Probably because those things were not built on your truth. And it's kind of scary. And I totally understand that. There may have been a new offer. There's an ending coming soon. You have all 10s here. 3 10s, boom, 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 10, 10, 10, right in a row. So you have completed a cycle. You have completed, you completed that cycle where you are willing to settle for what works and what makes you money, but what doesn't make you happy. You're absolutely finished with it. And I think maybe the catalyst for this has been you just got an offer, or you just kind of maybe fell in love with somebody new, or maybe it was a person, or maybe it was a concept. Ultimately, there was some sort of alignment or some sort of new start that came into your life recently that made you realize you can't stay where you are. It's not possible. Ooh. Ego mastery. You are on a spiritual journey beyond the sky. Let go of the past and soar. You are guided by the winds of spirit. Your wisdom inspires the world. So these are animal totem messages. We're getting into the spirit guide messages right now. And then we'll also have the angel messages, so stick around for those. So you definitely have the Great Spirit talking directly through you and talking directly to you and speaking directly through you. So you don't really have the option of ignoring that. Independent. You, cat spirit, is here with you. You are a natural leader. Your intuition is strong. You don't have to go with the crowd. Life supports you in every way. So if you were thinking about going into some sort of, like, when I say communications, it could very well be art, it could very well be music and writing, but it could also be an orator, or a politician, somebody who gets up and speaks in front of crowds and connects people. Ultimately, though, this is a sense of you going out and being very comfortable. It's interesting because cat energy for me is usually associated with Aries as well. There's a lot of independence here. There's a lot of being self-possessed and knowing who you are. This is sort of the voice of you're ready to be listened to, and people are going to listen to you. But it's also a sense of this is in your nature. It's in your nature to not need so much emotional connection as it is for you to have that intellectual connection with your crowd or with people around you. So this is about intellect and ideas. Once again, life supports you in every way. You don't have to go with the crowd. Lion, higher calling. All of this. Wow. I wouldn't be surprised if you just felt like that you had to do this for more than just your sake. You have within you all the courage you need. Let go of the past and reclaim your majesty. You will find success and contentment with those by your side, those being courage and majesty. Courage and majesty. Make noble choices for your life and your tribe. So this is taking me more into the public space in terms of leadership, of terms of becoming a leader, maybe in your community or definitely in your family. And it could very well be that there are things, even if you're not deciding to just leave your family, there's turmoil within the house because it's almost like they know. It's almost like they know that this is going to change the family dynamic. And there's a lot of, especially emotional shifts that have to happen. Stick to your guns, because this is the path. With eagle and lion showing up in your reading, this is essentially you've been tapped and you need to take this lead. Get out there and communicate your ideas, your inventions, your creations, and your concepts to people. You need to have an open conversation about them, whether it is through the written word or the spoken word. You need to find a way to communicate them to people, even though it's going to take a tremendous shift, in energy, but definitely in your social life. A huge shift. So be prepared for that. Let me read to you the angel messages. Creative potential. I'm not surprised. You are by nature infinitely creative. Life is a sea of creative potential just waiting to be expressed through you. You are free to express all your heart's desires. Positive thinking. Positive thinking is vital in creating a healthy and abundant life. A positive attitude along with positive beliefs and thoughts are crucial ingredients for creating happiness. Don't worry, think love. So this is a sense of a mindset of, if I believe I can do it, I can. Just keep thinking that way. Divine mystery. You, along with the sun, earth, moon, and stars, are part of one creation, a divine mystery unfolding each moment. Be present and feel the power of now. We talked about that. This is such Gemini energy. Be in the moment and witness the wonder of it all. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. Click below. Also share this video on your social media profiles so we can grow the views and we can grow the channel. Thank you so much for your constant support. I do hope you enjoy the reading. If you're curious and feel drawn to another pile, the timestamps are below. I'll talk to you later. Welcome to Born Without Boundaries. If you're here right now, you were attracted or drawn to group or pile 2. So let's get into your reading. The spirit guide and angel messages will happen at the end of the reading. FYI. What is your soul purpose? What is your purpose in life? What are you being called to? And what challenges might you face? And what encouragement and support is coming through from spirit directly to you right now? Let's start with the dream cards, which basically tell us our mental state and what we've been sort of going through conceptually. Writing, which is having confidence and feeling really beautiful as yourself. And also traveling, so there's sailing. So we have writing and we have sailing. You're moving around. You're switching things up. This is an adventurer's set of cards. So it could very well be that maybe you don't know exactly what you want to do right now, but we'll get into it. Ultimately, what you do know that you want to do is you don't want to do a traditional job. You don't want to be stuck behind a desk. You don't want to be in a 9-to-5 block. It doesn't mean that you don't want to work, but this is very physical. You want to be able to tangibly, tactfully, just get a grip on something, be physical. So you could be an actual sailor, you could be an actual equestrian, you could be an athlete. Or, maybe you were an athlete in high school and you're missing athletics now. There's this sense of physical prowess and physical power and needing to incorporate your physical body in the work that you do. So that could also be personal trainer. It could be yogi. It could be a fitness coach. It could be fitness guru. It could be nutritionist. You just need to incorporate your physicality and also be traveling around a lot. You need to be incorporating your body and be traveling around a lot. I mean, in some cases, that could be sales as well, like sales as in sailing. It could be actual sales, going into places where you're very, very confident and, your general appearance is very, very important. But you like that. You really love your body. You love your physique. You're extremely proud of You're extremely proud of it, man. You like people looking at you. You like to use your body. It's not just people looking at you and admiring you. It's you actually like to use your body. God bless, man. What are you doing sitting behind that desk? You shouldn't be sitting behind the desk anymore. Those days really have to be over with. And I know that it's not like, I'm just going to up and change everything. No, but today is the day to start the change. Today is the day to change, to switch. And maybe you were drawn to this pile because you don't need to switch. You just needed confirmation that, what I'm doing is correct. But this also could be, with these two cards together, it could be your time to go on that epic journey. Maybe take that year sojourn that you've been thinking of for a long time and just travel and experience life. I think so few people give themselves that time because, they're like they got bills stacked up against them. They don't want to lose their house. But ultimately, this could be the season of your life where maybe you lost your house. Maybe you lost your apartment. And it's travel for a while. Move around. Explore. It may mean that, your tangible resources may be low and you may be living off of peanut butter and bread for 10 days straight sometimes, which is water. You know what I'm saying? But ultimately, it's those are the kind of sacrifices that you'd be glad to make because you just want the freedom back. You just want to be roving and traveling around. But ultimately, this is your life purpose, is to not be in one place. It's to be energetic and constantly moving and incorporating your body into what you do and changing environments, traveling, talking and working with different people and being able to get out there and see the world. Okay, let's get into the moon cards, which is basically emotionally where you're at, right? And sort of what you need to psych yourself up for emotionally. Don't let pride get in your way. Interesting. This is Leo energy. Warning, don't let pride get in your way, but it's accompanied by a new romantic cycle begins. Ooh, this is Libra energy. This is conflict, I think, through conflict between the the divine feminine, divine masculine, that sense of, that sense of purpose versus spiritual connectivity and no, it's like purpose versus practicality almost. Your commitment is being tested and nothing is yet set in stone. So what this tells me is there's a lot of conflict here with your emotional life, especially your romantic life. And the reason why these cards came up is because that's somehow impacting what you're doing with your life. So it very well could be that recently you've decided to change your physique or change your diet or get in shape because you realize you're stuck in a shitty relationship because you don't feel good about yourself. Right? There's that sense of don't let pride get in your way. You deserve real romance. And is this the relationship that you really, 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 really want? Don't let pride or what you've decided you expect of yourself be what lets you miss out on your opportunity for a real love or a true love. So this could also mean this sense of, I don't know, it's like something false having pinned you down, or being in a relationship with somebody that you were just in because they had a specific physical appearance and they don't have much more, or because it looked good on the surface, not just their body, but they were from the right family, they were from the right household, they had the right job. But is this something that really fulfills you? Because what this is really telling me is what you really dream of is freedom. What you really dream of is travel. You don't really dream of all those finer things in life. The finest thing in life for you is to be able to be free, not necessarily free from a relationship, but free from this status quo conformity. Yeah, interesting. This could also imply that you're still working and that it's become difficult for you in some ways. Maybe things aren't moving fast enough. And I can say because of the opposition that the sun has been experiencing, especially the opposition that the sun has been experiencing when it's conjunct with Mars, which means it's been really regressing and experiencing a lot of challenges, things have slowed down. And it's like, as much as you think maybe you were getting back in shape or you were making headway on this maybe being able to finally travel or get out there and explore the world, ultimately things have slowed down. That's not because of you, it's because of the cosmos. And you'll start to see, if you don't take it personally, you'll start to see things start to dissipate and start to get a little bit easier. Your commitment to your purpose was just being tested. It's almost like when you're working out a lot, or when you're losing weight, or when you're getting into physical shape, or you're learning a new skill, especially like sailing or something like that, or dancing or something, like whatever you're working on your body with, essentially you hit a wall, man. You hit a wall. Everybody says that last 10 pounds is the worst to lose. And it is. It's true. It's like you hit a wall, and it's almost like forgive yourself. Forgive yourself any indiscretions or extra pieces of cake. You know what I'm saying? And just get back on your routine. Get back to hitting it. You'll get it back, and you'll get there the full way. There has been a natural regression to this time, really, so that we can have a second with ourselves to ask, is this what we really want? Is this life what we really want? And ultimately, it is. It is your divine purpose to be physical, be more physical, and incorporate physicality into your life, even if you had come up against some recent challenges. Let's get into the Secret Language of Light deck, which kind of tells us your soul purpose. Soul song. This is the divine rhythm and harmony and music that was put into your life. Inner voice. Lots of things to do with voice. That's really interesting. Voice. Inner voice and soul song. Okay. Divine and masculine energy. So this is making progress. Composing. Interesting. There is only light. Authentic truth. And soul family. Give me a second with this, guys. Inner voice and soul song. I feel like there is a specific set of music that you have been, like there's a specific set of music that has been connecting with you lately. That has been what you're blasting in your ear as you're working out or as you're dancing. It's kind of become this center for inspiration, your very own personal eye of the tiger. It's like your motivational song that has been just revving you up. And mostly I feel like you have been connected to its rhythm and connected to its timing. What I would really like for you to do is listen to the words very closely, because I think there's a message that you're missing. Divine masculine, it's almost like, yeah, you've been so into the physicality and what it does physically for you, and like how the rhythm makes you feel and how it kind of almost gets you high, which is awesome. But there's almost a sense of like, get to that more quiet space and listen to the words, because there's some sort of message in those words that needs to come through, and will only come through if you're able to find a quiet space to listen. There's just a lot of doing here. But it's like interesting, because divine masculine energy is very contradictory to soul song and inner voice. Maybe that's the purpose. You really need to escape this forced sense of self. Soul family is finding people that you are aligned with spiritually, aligning yourself with your ancestors. Have you been getting communications from your ancestors, especially through music? People drawing you back in. Maybe it's a father figure that's been communicating with you directly. These aren't bad things. These aren't bad voices that you're hearing. These are actually very good. It's coming through. There's only love. If you're really actually literally hearing voices, please do go tell your doctor, or get yourself some help. I'm not trying to say that you should be hearing voices, but I'm just saying, like, divine inspiration or receiving communication lately. I feel like somebody's going to be coming through to you loud and clear, or you've been trying to communicate, but there is only light. This is all goodness. These communications that are coming in are 100% for your benefit. It's like there's nothing to hate and there's nothing to fear. Authentic truth. Oh, I will say this. Of all groups, group 2, I feel like you're the one that you're already working on it. You're already doing it. And then that's why you were attracted to this group, because it's like you were already engaged in it. You already know your soul purpose. It wasn't finding you or finding it. It was just now you're questioning it because things had slowed down. Well, I'm here to tell you they slowed down because of the cosmos, not because you're supposed to get off your soul purpose. No, you're already doing it. You're already engaged and involved in what it is, or at least a piece of what it is. No, in what it is that you're supposed to be doing for a living. Probably something that is very physical, something that is correct for you. Even if it is building, just physically building, or traveling, exploring, or I don't know, engineering ships. There's something very tactile and tangible in what you do that is correct. And it's part of your divine purpose. I almost feel like there's just been I almost feel like there's just been a reason for you to doubt yourself lately. Don't. The spirit of the Golden Path, the wisdom of the Golden Path deck, is basically how we see our next steps. Let's see what's there for you. Good fortune is here, and love. I am balance, and that's interesting because we got the balance here. Yeah, there was something like out of balance. I feel like something happened during Libra season, or it could be something to do with your actual partnership. So let's start from the beginning. We have nature, which is grounding yourself and getting back to literal nature, using nature as that 3D sense of tethering, where maybe you couldn't be physical or doing everything that you needed. Maybe you had a setback, you had an injury, you are an athlete, or you do something physical, but ultimately there's a need for healing here when you get this nature card. Questioning your beliefs, yeah. There's definitely that sense of if you have gotten injured or have some major obstacles coming your way. There is a sense of wondering, is this really what I'm supposed to be doing? Is this a sign that I'm supposed to be switching paths? A new beginning? No, this is a start. This is untethering and like starting over, or cutting ties from maybe what you used to do and starting it in a different way. It could also be learning something new, like if something has happened to you or like physically altered what you can do with yourself. There's a sense of now finding another thing to do. But ultimately what I'm saying is that even if you're starting another profession, if you got into a horrible car accident, God forbid, but just say you got into a horrible car accident, now you can't use your legs anymore. Well, this is a sense of learning how to, play basketball in a wheelchair, or race in a wheelchair, or race with those, prosthetics. This is a sense of, it's almost a statement of you haven't changed and your purpose hasn't changed, but the way that you execute it is changing, and it has to. And it's calling you to be flexible and to be bendy, and find a new way to be the old you. I am balance. So this is a sense of yin and yang, finding a way to basically balance out the give and the take. And you have two cards almost in the same positions. Has to do with the new moon. I bet you this happened around between the new moon and the full moon. The new moon was in Libra, and that's why we got the new moon in Libra card. New moon in Libra could have been something really almost catastrophic that happened, asking you to change and switch up how you were going to be. It's almost like that thing that happened made you doubt all of your life, and it shouldn't have, because you were on the right path and you still are. It's like something has changed. Something has changed in the way that you have to execute it. Love. Learning how to love yourself again, learning how to see the beauty in everything that you are, even if you're not perfect, or that there has been changes. There is that sense of digging down deep, and like if you can't look in the mirror and see perfection, at least smile. At least learning how to smile because you see you, and knowing that you don't have to be perfect or see perfection to be very happy and in love with the reflection that you see. I almost feel, group 2, like there has been a major alteration in the way that you look or the way that you can execute physically. But this was not yes, it is a sign that you have to be flexible. It's a sign that you have to be malleable. But it's not a sign that you're not supposed to be physical. You are still supposed to be physical. It's like finding a way to be physical in a different way. And then last but not least, which is good fortune. Good fortune. So it's coming to you, usually in terms of resources, but also in terms of just breakthroughs and luck. So if you have been struggling, and I think that you have, there is a major breakthrough that's coming for you. What I want to say is you will get your balance back. You will get your poise back. You will get your ability to use your body back. And like I said, you may have to apply it in a way that's different than the way you've applied it before. But that being said, believe me, you are still meant to be you. You are still you. The moon is here, so this is facing our fears. This is also the full moon. This is like an emotional reckoning. A lot of emotions. Probably this full moon was extremely kind of emotional for you. It kind of brought out all the pain and all the maybe the crying that you needed to do and you hadn't done yet. It's almost like facing your id, facing your shadow, facing those parts of yourself that you feel are uglier. But look at Star is here too. Star card is in Aquarius energy, that ever expansive energy. And the truth is, what is that? Uranus and the moon were conjunct just recently in this past moon. But ultimately what this means is infinite possibilities. All that awakening and those bubbles of emotion that were coming up are cracking open and breaking open and aligning you with a sort of passion. It's like innovating through emotion, letting your emotions drive or inspire your innovations, your new ideas and your new concepts. This was a tower. This was a real upset in the way that you see things or the way that you do things or the way that you see yourself. And a change had to happen, and a change did happen all of a sudden. So of course, there was an accident here. There was some sort of loss. There was some sort of death. There was some sort of major injury that happened here. 100% could have been to your love life, or it could be conflicting and could have either been to a person that you love, and that was the conflict that you're having to deal with that kind of threw you off from everything that you like I really feel group 2, you are the group that really had your fucking stride. You know, like you thought everything was great, and then bam, it's like, wait a second, I didn't ask for this. But there was a change that happened in the universe, and there's a sense of now we're challenging you. Get back to being you with these new set of circumstances. And if you really love what you do, you will find that way back. It can make you feel like in some ways you're not the same person that you used to, or that your spouse wants to leave you, or that there's a lot of challenges in terms of your romantic life or in terms of your house itself. Like if you had gotten into a terrible accident or your spouse got into a terrible accident, there's that sense of needing to update and renovate the house because of it, which is an extra financial burden. But you'll be getting help. You'll just be getting help. You'll be getting help with any kind of conflict. It's like your solid foundation and how much you love each other is going to be your stronghold and money. This is almost like using what happened to you as a means of creating a new foundation, or like raising money or making money, or sort of challenging yourself to make money in a different way, because these are both the boss cards. But these are also just earth energy, a lot of Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy of just getting things done and being practical. And anytime you get emotional, using that emotion to fuel this pragmatism and this practicality, and just get it done, just get it done, just get it done. That's sort of the earth sign mantra. You may be an earth sign yourself or dealing with an earth sign. There's a lot of earth energy floating around here. There's a lot of do, physically attain, physically build, construct. I just keep getting that. Let's see what the spirit guides have to say. These are animal totem cards. Okay, sea otter, happiness. Be the master of playful living. Release expectations. This is big for you guys. And enjoy every day. So that's living in the here and now. Let worry go and instead choose love. In other words, understand that somebody can love you even if you're not all that you used to be. Like physically. Let worry go and instead choose love. And vice versa for somebody else. Surrender to the waves. Your good destiny of love is sure. So you have a strong partnership, especially with divine counterparts, the two of you working on things together. This really your foundation, helping you overcome any accident or hurt or change that crept up on you all of a sudden. You have a strong, this card is about a strong relationship and about that person in your relationship the person that you're with, your partner, actually being one of the main people that helps you through this, or vice versa. Dragonfly magic. I embrace my transformation. I courageously let go of the past. The magic of nature is in me. I am brilliant and I am blessed. I embrace my transformation. Yeah, there is definitely a change that's happening physically. And this is a physical change that you can't come back from. Like a dragonfly becomes a dragonfly from a larva. And it actually is, it maybe not be as comfortable, but it's so much more evolved. He can do so much more. This is like leveling up, like going to the next level. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, absolutely. Oh my God. Okay. Grizzly bear, power. I am indestructible. I honor my intuition and go where it leads. Love and gentleness are my real strength. I never give up. I will succeed. Oh my God. Keep going, guys. Keep going. And let your partner love you, or you love your partner, and let that be part of your external strength that helps you. Dear, love is huge for you guys. Be gentle with yourself. You heal with the power of love. See the light in all things. Acknowledge your self-worth and grace. And honestly, it's feeling more like, wounded warrior, wounded soldier, wounded athlete, a sense of something destructive or something horrible happens and you think that wasn't what you were meant to do. Not only is it still what you're meant to do, but your purpose, your life purpose, is to show the world, get to the point first where you heal, and then get to the point where you're showing the world potential in other people like you, setting up foundations and just breaking down barriers and breaking down stereotypes and saying, hey, guess what? I'm still me, even if something has physically changed about me. I'm still me. I still have all my self-worth and all my self-value. Or you're being inspired through somebody that you love to do this kind of work. Ooh, I love this card. Heron, patience. Create a place in nature's stillness and be renewed. And you got that nature card too. So there's a little bit of go easy on yourself right now, please. Take time alone to find balance. That was coming up in the other cards too. Step confidently toward your purpose. Patience will bring you rewards. So please don't rush yourself. This is once again another card that says, guess what? You are on the right path. You are on the right track. You already know your purpose. Don't let this conflict that's happened, don't let this tower moment throw you off or make you doubt your purpose, because you already have your purpose. You already know your purpose. Keep resolve in that purpose. The unknown. These are your angel messages. So direct from the angels what your angels want to say. Do not fear the unknown. This is a time of deep exploration and transformation. Unfamiliar territory leads to new horizons. There are new things coming into your life. There are. Also a sense of your life purpose coming back to creating foundations or showing people through the way that you live that you are still yourself, even if something's happened to you. This sense of almost like setting up a structure or like a foundation that helps people cope with the unknown. Integrity. Be flexible, but also true to you. Stand by your beliefs and values, and others will stand by and believe in you. Wow. You're still you. You're still you. Archangel Raphael is here. Feel yourself surrounded by my emerald green light. Archangel Raphael, it's interesting because you got so much green earth energy. Offer you healing and solace. The storm clouds will soon clear and the sun will shine eternally bright. Trust. Faith. Lots of green. Do not lose faith. The storm clouds will soon clear. Twice you've gotten this message now, right there. The storm clouds will soon clear. The storm clouds will soon clear. The sun will shine once more, and the sun will shine eternally bright. Archangel Raphael is showing up twice for healing and grounding. If you can, a big thing to help yourself through this time is to ground yourself. Go back, go in your garden, touch the earth, go hiking. You know, go more toward trees and forests than the ocean. Just touch your feet into the dirt. You want to be around trees and growing things and that color green. Think global. You are being encouraged to spread your wings. Remember that dragonfly totem. Think outside the square. You are a citizen of the world. Expand your vision. Imagine the world within your heart. Right? Embrace it. Surround it with love. Let it be, and so it will be. You already know who you are. No matter what, that hasn't changed. You are going to go through some bumps and bruises. But now is your time to be ingenuitive and find a practical way back to your soul path, because you were already on it. I love you guys. Please remember to click subscribe and help the channel grow. You can find me on other social media platforms like Born_without_boundaries on Instagram, where I do daily tarot card readings every single Monday through Friday. You can find me on Vimeo where all my extended readings and my week ahead astrological forecasts are published. You can also find the astrological forecasts on my website. There's so many different ways to join Born Without Boundaries and experience all of the insight and content I create. So thank you so much for this, and God bless you on your journey. I think that you just have to be reminded that you are still you. And even though your life has been altered, your path has not. So heal and get back to it. I'll talk to you guys soon. You chose group 3. Okay, group 3, pile 3. Whatever the case, thank you for joining this Born Without Boundaries Pick a Card. What is your life purpose? What are the obstacles in your way? What are the challenges? What emotionally, like, what are you going through? We're going to get all of that. We're going to get to all of that. And we're also going to do, I'm also going to give you some insight into what the angels that are surrounding you, who they are, and what they want you to know, as well as your animal totems and what they're teaching you. So let's get into this group 3. We start with the dream cards, which kind of give us, what it is you really want, what's really coming out of you. So let's start. Loneliness and isolation, youth. You had some sort of love in your life when you were young, and in some ways you're still kind of craving that. Could have been with a parent, but it could have also been with a young lover, always comparing everybody to them, and in doing so, isolating yourself. The key to your future is this. Okay, books and learning, retreating into some sort of fantasy world, or just learning, educating yourself, becoming an educator, trying to understand, trying to look, maybe even searching for that person again, researching them, looking them up online, buying, and the moon is here. It's almost like in some ways you've been escaping your feelings through retail therapy. I mean, really, honestly, that's what this is. But how is this aligning you to your soul purpose? What is your soul purpose? Honestly, I'm just going to say this by what the dream cards look like. I feel group 3 in some ways. You have been the most distracted and been the least focused on what your soul purpose is. Because you've been distracted by maybe obsessing over or looking towards somebody else as your dream, and not really going in deep yeah, it's like that purpose is not that. My purpose is something else. Like, what is my purpose? Always losing yourself in other people, trying to find your purpose in them, thinking that somebody else or your connection with another person is all that your focus has been on. Like, that's been your dream from the very beginning. Books. You're very educated. You're very intellectual. You like to learn. Could be selling dreams in some ways, almost selling This is really, it's like you're selling, you could be trying to buy affection, buy attention, buy emotions, feeling like somebody else is the key to your survival, constantly looking for them, constantly searching for them. This is interesting, but what is your life's purpose? I don't know why there's a cloud here. The answers you need are coming. This is Gemini, so this is communication. One's wait until Mercury gets out of retrograde. It could very well be that while Mercury was in retrograde, you were so distracted that you couldn't really think. Essentially, there's some sort of communications coming through, trying to understand exactly what it is. You guys are still searching. This is the most difficult pile. It's like you're the one still searching for your purpose. You really don't know. Be bold and make the first move, and a new start is coming. Okay. I'm just going to keep reading. I don't mean to rush. It's almost like for you guys, your soul purpose wasn't found in the dream cards. It was more, it's almost like your dreams are more of a distraction to you. So it's kind of like, I'm confused. Hold on. Wellness. Two energies here. Meditate, be alone, be by yourself. You've been just so distracted by something, by buying, by purchasing, by making yourself feel good, being very distracted. There's some sort of that being finished. Unless you were looking for somebody. It's almost like in some ways you're paying for secrets. You're paying to find out. You've made your whole life's purpose to be doing this research, to seek out knowledge or to seek out somebody, looking for people. It's almost like private investigator work. Is what I want to say. It's almost like forensics and like searching and looking for those reasons why. It could be forensic psychology or psychological profiler, or it could just be PI or a detective. That kind of real investigative energy, really be loving to just involve yourself and engage yourself to sort of solve these mysteries and understand these cases, put together information in a clever way that comes to conclusions. Okay, that's interesting. It's almost like, this is so difficult for me. Wow. Okay. Wellness and balance and let your light shine. This is all about you. This is communication. This is about challenges and using your intellect to really bring a wholeness to yourself. Really, in other words, you work in data and you work in facts and you work in intellect to solve these problems. You work objectively, try to keep yourself objective. That's not loneliness, it's objectivity, trying to keep yourself from a distance so that you, like, this life purpose, especially if you're a PI or a somebody who works in forensics or something, you need to have a certain sense of, or even medicine in some cases, there's a sense of you need that mental clarity and objectivity so as to not get yourself too emotionally invested. Okay, I understand. Let your light shine. You're really good at what you do. You're going to be extraordinary. You're going to be somebody that a lot of people depend on and rely on and actually trust. And you're going to really deserve their trust. Visualize. Interesting. I feel like you're at almost like an impasse right now. It's like you're... No, that's not it. It's almost like it's like things come to you as a visual, like things come to you as images. Maybe it's through meditation, you spending some time alone or having some sort of objectivity or distance from visualizing this, visualizing. It's like it starts with a concept, it starts with intellect, it starts with data, and then all of a sudden the visions come and you start to piece together the full image. Expansion. You're somebody who's always able to sort of look beyond or take what's in front of them and expand upon it. See something and add to it, or add things up. Yeah, it's like you're able to get the answers through putting all these pieces together and creating the entire puzzle. And it's like, for some reason, you're somebody who's very good at understanding how all those pieces fit together. Wow. You are very, very grounded in the pragmatic and in the intellectual. There's a sense of working within the tangible and quantifiable, but ultimately allowing that to inspire and almost like it's like the tangible is the little pieces that you know how to put together, but that full spectrum image that you create through all those pieces is something that nobody else expected. But you're the one that's able to piece it together. And in some ways, there's that sense of being very, very rooted yourself with connection. You could be a psychic. You could be a psychic, and that's why you're so good at understanding or digging in deep and getting leads where other people can't do it. Because you have this kind of connection to source that you allow to guide you. This was by far the most complex reading. And it's interesting, I'm going to tell you something. Most times, because these are really fun for me, I usually, pick a card. I usually pick my own pile, because I don't look to see what cards go in what pile. I just let it be random, right? I let it be spirit guided. And I always pick pile 3. I always pick pile 3. I'm always drawn to pile 3. This time I was not. This time it was not me at all. And it's just interesting how it's not me at all. And it's not about me, but it's so not me that it's even hard for me to understand. Interesting, right? Inspired warrior. Oh shit. Oh, that is sexy as fuck. I don't know if you lost somebody many, many years ago, and it's like this is what's inspired you to sort of like search for people or to figure out maybe unsolved mysteries or something like that. But there is that sense of, this is Aries energy, getting things done, being brave, being courageous, and being a warrior. Could even be being a soldier or being a detective. Like I said, sticking up for people who can't stick up for themselves. Letting what happened to you be what has inspired you to do the work that you're doing, which is bring justice to, or bring a wholeness and a conclusion to cases that other people couldn't, you know, piece things together. So it could be a medical case, like I said, it could be a detective case, different kinds of, but there's definitely problem-solving elements and piecing together pieces of the puzzle and digging and researching in your life purpose. But it's driven by something that happened to you when you were young. Maybe losing somebody, somebody disappearing out of your life, that and you never found them again, or you were never saw them again. So it's almost like that's what drives you in finding all these other solutions for all these other people. It's really a way to cathartically help you find a solution or get some sort of closure for yourself. Change. She is very strong and she's very powerful. But she also has to disconnect herself from the past. So constantly trying to defend others, or being, being that light in the dark, in order to help yourself try to change, try to heal, and also cut ties with your past, or giving people what they need to be able to cut ties with their past. Not that you'll ever be able to really forget it, but ultimately that you'll be able to get it to a point where it doesn't control you anymore. And this is what you want. You want to give people closure. You want to give yourself closure, soulmate, and emotions. Like, this is really deep shit. This is love, a love that still drives you. A love that still is a connection, like a connection to a soulmate that will never stop even after death. There's a sense of those emotions being inside of you, still feeling so deeply, a connection to somebody so deeply, even if they're not in your life anymore. There's just a sense of them being a great, almost like a spiritual connection to what you do, almost like a guiding force, guiding them or connecting with them emotionally if you can't connect with them physically. Feeling an emotional connection to somebody always. There's definitely some sort of psychic energy here. I also heard drowning, and I don't know why, but I don't know if anybody had an experience like that. Could not be. There's a sense of, it could just be water and emotions that are driving you constantly, and you want to move away from them, but at the same time you don't. At the same time, you don't ever want to move away from this person. This is a missed opportunity. This is about making a decision, a good decision, to move away from a missed opportunity. An opportunity, something that you thought or expected was going to be offered to you, but wasn't. This is work that you absolutely love doing, but you don't get much credit for. So it could be some sort of charity. But like I said, she's researching again, right? So it could just be like academic research. You don't get credit for it, right? You don't get really help by it. You're maybe finding money to support your cause or support the business that you do. You're always trying to like fundraise or something like that, because ultimately people don't see the importance of what you do. But public recognition is not in your wheelhouse. You don't care. There is financial stability. There is returning balance to a place where there was no balance before. Could even be financial balance. There is financial stability. It's like returning returning stability to where there wasn't, which is essentially what you're driven by, this sense of giving people closure. But I think also there's just this sense of like getting answers, getting messages, finding messages that help provide stability, looking for messages. It could even be, I was going to say, like doing like forensic accounting, getting to conclusions of something, like digging down deep. It doesn't have to be directly finance related, but it could. There's a lot of, I just feel like there's like you using tangible evidence to bring a stability back into the situation, to give people answers. Wow. These are the messages directly from your spirit totems coming in. That's why I'll read it directly off the card. Sea turtle, protection. So that's why all those warrior cards are coming up. You can, a lot of times in your line of work, be put into danger. So you might have to self-isolate. So that could be with like medicine, some sort of biohazard suit, or a researcher in the medical field, or just like PI work. There's some sort of risk in what you do. That's part of the joy of it for you. Sea turtle, protection. You are master of finding life's flow. Be in harmony with the rhythm and your path will unfold. Perceive and you will succeed. You have everything you need. Be protected and happy. You have, and this is why that energy is there, that water energy that I couldn't peg. This is like using your intuition to guide you, as well as having to really feel like watched all the time, having to protect yourself, being in a situation where you have to always use your natural instincts to make sure that you don't get attacked. Which is why you've developed a highly perceptive connection to all that sort of external feedback. This is a sense of you will go far in life. You will always be protected. You will have a long life, a long, healthy life, because you know how to protect yourself so well. Polar bear, mystic. Know that challenges make you stronger. Have faith when you face adversity. Take time to rest, dream, and renew your strength. Embrace your psychic abilities. You carry the shaman within. You already know that. This is who you are. This is who you are, sort of defending, taking one step at a time, but sort of defending and being protected. This is shamanic energy. Somebody that goes into rough situations and helps to find real answers and healing. So it could very well be that you're a spiritual light worker as well. But ultimately, there's that sense of digging in. So it could be like astrology. There's some sort of academic work. Just like digging in, but using your psyche to apply it. Tiger. These are all very solitary creatures as well. So it's like you spend a lot of time alone. I almost feel like in some ways you've already fallen in love, but for some reason you can't be with that person. So ultimately, there is this sense of you're a loner. You'd rather go it alone. I choose to be unstoppable. My passion is my power. I am bold. I am brave. Mighty forces come to my aid. You're doing God's work. You're doing, you're definitely divinely driven. It's almost like, and I'm going to say this, like almost like vigilante shit. I'm not saying you're out there like, you know, the Punisher, you know, but I am saying there's a sense of, that's why maybe you know, financially aren't always so secure, or you don't make a lot of money because it's not about money for you. You're driven by, justice, about wanting justice to be served and wanting to find solutions and get to the bottom of things. That's what drives you. That's 100% what drives you. And it's divinely driven. It's like, that's why the universe has given you such a wonderful sense of perception, such a wonderful sense of understanding both predator and prey, such a wonderful sense of sort of this intuition that guides you to the next piece, that guides you to the full answer. Wow. Peacock, vibrancy. This is also scorpionic energy, which means that you are really linked to the underworld and the seediness. but you are the observer of it. You are the administrator of it, like Pluto. There is this sense of, no, you're not the destroyer, but you are, well, you wreck anybody, like Pluto, you wreck anybody who's trying to get away with something. That's what you do. That's what your purpose in life is. To destroy anything that isn't morally and ethically sound. Ooh, damn. You were born to shine and inspire. Practice humility to avoid jealousy. Be grateful for life, and more good things will come. Be true to yourself and recognize your brilliance. Yeah, this is the Phoenix rising, coming out of the ashes. So definitely all of this was born through pain in your life. Pain and sorrow and suffering that happened probably when you were a child. And elk, nobility, celebrate your accomplishments with humility. You already do. You are crowned with success. Powerful forces guide you. Those antennae, just like a deer or a stag, it's like those big horns act as antenna to the ether, to the gods or the god. So it's like you have a direct kind of connection, like your own radio station that's tapped directly into them. Powerful forces guide you. Your ability to conquer challenges is limitless. Boy, oh boy, you do not give up, man. You are fucking relentless. You just will not relent. You will not relent. No matter what, you're going to find those answers, because it's not about getting the next paycheck. It's about giving people a peace that maybe you were never able to find. Oh, wow. Ooh, I love this. And now we have your angel messages and messages directly from your angels. And maybe there's a specific angel that's guiding you or protecting you that you know of. Like sometimes the cards name the names. I don't see any names in here, but let me read to you the messages. Healing. I, the angel of healing, am with you right now. Feel my presence and my unwavering love for you. God, you make them so proud. I have loved you before the dawn of time, and I will love you for all eternity. This is almost like that soulmate energy. And it could very well be that soulmate you lost is your main guardian angel. Peace. No matter where you are or what you're doing, inner peace is always possible. All it takes is a subtle shift in awareness. Think love and peace will follow. So for a person who could have a lot of conflict, whose conflict drives them, get back to that sense of how blessed you are for these insights and how blessed you are to have known that wonderful person who inspired this all, and to know that they're still with you. And once again, protection. You are safe. Do not fear. And this is a double message for you guys, because not only are you divinely protected, which is why you can do risky things and still always be safe, but ultimately you are also the protector. You are also the person trying to make the world a safer place for other people. We are with you always and surround you always with our invisible wings of light. You are so protected, Group 3. Last but not least, courage, which I think you guys have an abundance of. You have what it takes. Just do it. We, your angels, are here to support you. So in other words, keep doing what you're doing, because you are 100% on the right path. And if you are not, your path 100% is to protect and defend and get answers and closure for those people like you could never get for yourself. And you are divinely protected by that angel in heaven that you had lost. And you're still connected. You're still connected through love, and they're protecting you, and all their angel friends are protecting you. So you are protected, and it's almost like translate that into helping and protecting others. Oh my God, I love you guys, and thank you so much for everything that you do. Group 3, if you have not subscribed, please do subscribe to the channel and help Born Without Boundaries grow. please do share this video. Like it and share it on your other social media profiles, and join me daily, Monday through Friday, for my live readings on Instagram, Born_without_boundaries. You can also find a lot of other content, including my extended, really deep dive zodiac readings on my Vimeo page. You can subscribe there too. Or keep on looking over on YouTube, because we'll do more of these pick of cards and everything. So, damn. Thank you so much. I love you guys. I'll talk to you soon. So thank you so much, and welcome to Born Without Boundaries. If you are here right now, you have selected group 4. So something has intuitively drawn you to this this pile, or this group of cards, this messages. So what we'll go through is different cards that will tell you different dynamics, so you can better understand your soul purpose here, and what to align yourself with in terms of your life purpose. But then at the end, there will also be messages directly from your spirit guides, your animal totems, as well as your angels. Sometimes specific angel names pop up. Sometimes they don't, because it's your ancestors or it's your personal angels that are just trying to send you messages. So let's get into your reading, group 4. Okay. We're going to start with the dream cards, which is basically your aspirational energy, group 4. Okay. Oh, you are a disruptor, group 4. That's what you are. You're not going to be saying shit that's popular, but you're going to be saying shit that's necessary. You're not going to be doing shit that everybody else does, but you're going to be doing shit that's going to lead everybody else forward. This is some sort of pest, some sort of bug, something that irritates people, something that gets under people's skin. It doesn't allow them to be comfortable. And this is shouting. Maybe you've been repressed throughout your life and you're sick of being repressed. You're actually finally getting your due. You're coming through. Your voice is coming through. You are the disruptor. You have been suppressed. Now you're going to be heard, and you're going to bug the shit out of people. You're constantly bugging people, constantly bugging people. It's bugging people not because that is your intent, but it is sort of your purpose in life is to disrupt them, to say what they need to hear instead of what they want to hear. You could be, and you're definitely somebody in the public, whether you're a lawyer, whether you're a judge, whether you're online, whether you're in the media, you're a news reporter, you're an investigative report, whatever you are, you're somebody who is linked to the truth and delivering it in a way that people hear it loud and clear. You could even be an artist sharing through your songs. Like, people don't like to hear what you have to say, but ultimately they need to hear what you have to say. You could, like, there's definitely some sort of public communication here, but ultimately it is to be disruptive. It is to be the deliverer. It is to be that person who says what other people don't want to hear but need to hear, and keep saying it until they fucking listen. And oh, your time has come. Bada bing, bada fucking boom. 100% group 4, your time has come. You're about to be sitting pretty. You've waited a long time for this, and maybe the wealth is in people finally recognizing you and finally listening to you. But I have a feeling like throughout your whole life, your purpose is going to be that voice outside that nobody wants to hear, but everybody needs to hear. Ultimately, you are the teller of the truth. It is time for you to come into fruition. Your fruition is here. It is your time. Time is here. And ultimately, it's like what I say. It's like you have been repressed for a long time, but your time is here. You've broken through, and you're going to bug the shit out of people in the very best way. The very best way. Really interesting energy. Ooh, let's see the moon energy. Let's see. There's lots of moon cards here. So in other words, this is aligned with your psychic energy, an emotional, intuitive, see my little baby? An emotional, intuitive awareness and knowing, just sort of a natural knowing for you. in other words, a lot of what you speak on, what you write, a lot of what you share with people, however you share it, is based on prophecy, or it's prophetic, or it's psychic. You're going through intuition, which is why a lot of people, why you bug a lot of people, and why maybe a lot of people find it really easy to discard what you say. Too fucking bad for them. Ultimately, you're not going to be able to be ignored anymore. Damn. Surrender to the divine. This is the full moon. Just give it over. Give it over to your psyche. That's the full moon. Think the moon card in tarot, which is aligned with the psyche, Piscean energy. It's aligned with mysteries and magic and things that can't be explained, but that doesn't mean that they're not real. This is about uncovering things that are hidden, exposing things that are hidden, and not backing down from those things that happen in the dark. Which means that, yeah, this is almost like fucking Edward Snowden energy. I'm not even kidding. You and your loved ones are safe. This is a really nice one. This is a sense of, you being driven by wanting you and who you love to live in a good world, and wanting the world around you to live up to how valuable you know that you are, and you know that your children are. So this is a sense of trying to make the world that we live in a place that is worthy of your children and your family. And ultimately, yeah. And this is also, like I said, crab energy, more being able to take out, remember, crabs are tidal creatures. So essentially what that means is being able to take what's in the psyche, you having the special talent of being able to take what's in the psyche, which is the water, and turn it into something that people can actually interact with, which is the earth. You are that go-between between the two, that translator, that translation of divine energy into practical energy, the multi-dimension energy into three-dimensional energy. Damn. Expect powerful change, and the change is happening through you. You are the eclipse, motherfucker. That's what did I say? You're the disruptor. You are the eclipse. For better or worse, but it is for better ultimately. Just because it's painful doesn't mean it's not for better, but you are definitely delivering that message that people don't necessarily want to hear, but they need to. We said that nothing will come of this situation. Expect powerful change. Ooh, damn. So ultimately, you are putting the kibosh on some shit that people have been pushing for a long time. There is a sense of breaking it down and fucking it up and showing how just worthless and pointless it is. This is definitely your time to shine. Nothing will come of this situation is a sense of being frustrated, often where you yell and scream about change, but nothing ever happens. You've been yelling and screaming about this change for quite some time, and maybe the universe has been actually protecting you, because ultimately the world wasn't ready to hear what you had to say, and the world wasn't ready for you. But holy shit, your time has come. Things have changed. Confidence is your key to success, because you've kept at it. You've been very strong emotionally. You realized that it wasn't about recognition. It wasn't about public recognition. It wasn't about needing any recognition at all. It was about what your purpose on this earth was. And essentially, you had enough confidence to just keep going in that direction. And look at this. A win-win outcome is forecast. Win-win outcome. So it's almost like finding that go-between, finding that not compromise, but finding where the two different extremes meet, finding that happy middle ground, and being able to almost like you being the one that kind of points out the change, but then also offers the space where we can make it actually work. Type of thing. So it's not like you're just somebody spewing out ideas. You're somebody actually also offering solutions. Focus. Holy shit. Nourish and meditation. Focus, nourish, and meditation. So I think that this has been a big journey for you as well. It's been almost a thing of like, maybe you had to change your delivery system or how you were talking to people. A sense of you realizing that not only did your society or the world outside of you had to change, but you had to change too. You had to change the way, in other words, if you wanted to get yourself listened to, then you were going to have to find a way to get listened to without being hated, right? A sense of finding a way to deliver your message in a way that it would be incorporated and accepted. So ultimately, yes, 100%, it's finally come. It's like finally, it's finally come. Now, nourish is you and the globe, connecting with the earth, realizing that we're here on this divine planet and that it is a blessing and we're the caretakers of it and the cultivators of it. We're not the dictators of it. We're a part of it. But it also is our sense of like that middle ground, finding a way to like, it's like we're not just supposed to like sit here and be like, yes, whatever nature wants. No, we're part of nature. We're the conscious part of nature. So we're supposed to direct it. We're supposed to like be kind of like the agriculturists of it. We're supposed to organize it, but we're not supposed to destroy it, and we're not supposed to exploit it. So that's maybe a major part of your message to the world. Meditate. I think that you guys have been doing a lot of yoga. I think you guys have been doing a lot of meditation, finding ways to calm yourself down and connect with the purest form of spirit in order to gain real confidence, not just the confidence that comes from cockiness of always getting resistance towards you, which is probably where you were coming from, but also just a sense of confidence as in I'm directly connected to spirit. I know what I feel is real. I don't have to yell and shout and scream, but I do have to persist. And that's that kind of sense of trying to focus, get that focus, find your focus and meditate, and find peace within yourself so that you're always coming from a place of peace and cultivation. And you always have, like I said, solutions to offer, not just ways to harp on people or tell them that they're wrong. That's really not what it's about. What it's about is offering solutions that can actually be made, like offering suggestions that can actually be made into tangible solutions. So that's sort of what this shift in energy is all about. The change in you is basically what orchestrated the change in how people are, how receptive people are to you, and your ideas and your ideals, and what you want to get across. Ooh, masquerade. This is interesting. Trying to dress up, pretend like you're somebody else, take on another face, self-worth. Wow. Spontaneous and intuitive creation. This is interesting. Self-worth here as having a really damaged sense of self, like as if like never seeing the beauty in who you are, like never really truly understanding how you are, and maybe in some ways sort of overreacting because of it, just sort of spewing your creativity onto people. But this is a sense of people finally recognizing you, and like it, and almost like you're focusing on you. You could actually, because this is creativity, in some ways your creativity could have given you a solution to sort of like almost disguise your what am I trying to say? Disguise your ideas in the form of a play or a musical or a movie or something like that, like or a sense of almost like your genius and your conduit has changed, like almost like Tyler Perry uses Medea. You know, it's like, it's not like he's not telling the truth. He is dressing up and he is taking on a character. He's using his creativity, but underneath it's his absolute truth coming out through a character that is easier for people to, that's more palpable for people. It's easier. Because if he was just a black man, you know, if he, like Tyler, if Tyler Perry watches this, thank you so much, Mr. Perry, for watching this. But I'm just saying, like, as an example, could you imagine him going out as a big, tall, well-built black man spewing guns, like shooting guns and, you know, saying, and like smacking people? No, nobody would digest that from him. But when he dresses up as an old woman, that stereotypical matriarch of the family, and it becomes ridiculous that she has a gun in her hand. It becomes comedy that she has a gun in her hand, but she's still able to get through those very traditional old-fashioned truths. So it's almost like finding a creative solution to sharing your ideas, because in the past all they've done is bug people or irritate people. But now your big breakthrough has been you finally found this creative conduit to be able to connect with people in a way that is palpable and they can understand and they can trust you, and so your messages will finally reach them. Damn. Okay. Group 4, holy crap. Okay. King of Swords, this is definitely blunt communication. This is also justice being served. Temperance, this is finding a middle ground. This is finding a solution to what it seemed to be an insolvable problem. This is the Empress, but she's in reverse. So this is a very manipulative, deceptive woman. No, this is like a devouring mother, not a good mother. Somebody who is, she takes more than she gives. This is the Sun, and this is the Devil. The Devil in reverse. So this could be ego. This could be... No, the Devil in reverse is more about getting over your addictions, finally being able to weigh in on what's weighing you down, finally being able to overcome anything or realize where the evil was. There could very well be some sort of evil presence in motherhood or maternity, or it could very well have been like an evil matriarch type of thing. But it's almost like shining the light on the sickness that nobody was able to, like this could be divine feminine energy in reverse, so the dark side of it. And it's almost like that's what you're shouting at. That's what you're exposing. You're exposing how indulgent and overindulgent we've become in some sort of dark feminine energy, neediness, greed, absorption, taking more than we need. All of those things are like ever consuming, devouring. Are we really, in other words, are we really doing it to protect our children, or are we doing it to never have to grow up? This is almost like, it's almost like that's what you're communicating and showing to the rest of the world. And it's tricky and it's very difficult. Which is probably why you might need a character to help deliver your message. But you are so certain of this message. It's like this message was given to you by the divine, and you don't have any recourse. Like you don't have any way out of this. You have to be a conduit for it and a deliverer of it. Just an FYI. Let's get into... There's a lot of them here. Your animal totems. Jesus. Coyote. That could be very tricky energy. Also shapeshifter energy. Revealer of truth. Damn, what'd I say? Don't take things too seriously. Make time to play. That's interesting. Great wisdom comes from laughing at your own folly. Not taking yourself too seriously. So if you're making yourself a joke, then... it's almost like comedians, like they're the divine fools. What is that? The divine fool. It begins with an H. It's Native American. That's almost what you are. It's like it's finding a way to deliver harsh truths in a palpable way. Great wisdom comes from laughing at your own folly. Look out for the traps and tricks of life and learn from them. Oh, but this is the higher meaning, right? That's so cool. Giraffe, visionary. Rise above earthly matters. Glide through life with grace. You are able to see the right path. Stand tall in your own self-worth. We got that before. And love with a big heart. You're not just doing this for you. You're doing this, and you're not really doing this for you. You're just tired of being shit on. You know, you see into the future. You see farther than others can. You see what others cannot. So it's almost like acknowledging that and realizing that they maybe are fighting against you just because they don't get it. So it's finding a way to deliver it to them in a way that they could, and being grounded by the fact that it is out of love that you're doing this. It is out of a higher purpose that you're doing this. It's not out of your arrogance, and it's not to prove your own worth. It's not about you. Take the you out of it, you know, and if you need to use comedy to do it, because comedy is such a great, and this is Cancerian energy, and it's really interesting because if you have a moon in Cancer, 10 to 1, you already do this naturally, or Cancer suns can do this naturally too. They use comedy as that divine mechanism to share their truths while simultaneously not backing down from the truth, you know, because Cancers feel out what other people feel so strongly that sometimes almost 99% of the time, we end up regurgitating what they want to hear instead of what we really see as visionaries. So comedy becomes that conduit through which we can like sort of be more objective. So a lot of Cancers, especially Cancer moons, are very funny people because we use comedy as that leverage point to make people smile and make people laugh, but also make people listen to things that if you weren't making them smile and laugh, they wouldn't be willing to hear. That kind of energy. Black Bear, Guardian, gentle and wise protector. Give me your confidence and power. Help me protect the ones I love. Awaken my intuition and guide me. You are looking for guidance and you are looking for protection. And this card comes to you as an acknowledgement that you are protected. You absolutely are. Or if you need help, just ask for it. Butterfly, rebirth. Ooh, I just got chills. You can reinvent yourself. Open to the rewards of change. You have brilliance to share with the world. Love every part of your journey. Your life is transforming, guys. And butterflies are showing up in here too, which is raccoon. Decide on what you really want. You have the integrity, the ingenuity to claim it. Avoid being the trickster and practice integrity. You have many roles and can juggle them well. So this is like, avoid being the dark side of the coyote and the raccoon of just being tricksters, people that pick through garbage. It's not about that because it's not about you. And if you remove the you from this and you focus on the spiritual need, there is that sense of being able to use the best of both of those energies, which is to be malleable, to improvise, to be clever, but also deliver it in a way, deliver messages, needed messages in ways that people will listen. There's a sense of also being able to be playful and be happy. And that happiness not only lets people listen to you, but it also helps you. It helps your life not be so heavy, right? And you have that butterfly energy. It's like the first time in your life you're finally able to do this. You're finally able to find a way to be strong and to be bold and to share your words or to have confidence in yourself without having to, but still without having to alter your own integrity, those parts of your message that need to be said. That, in other words, finding a way to change your delivery system, but not change your purpose or your reason, because your purpose or your reason is right on. Oh, wow. Oh, we have more. Jesus. Okay. Pronghorn. Pronghorn. I feel like that was Pronghorn was one of the Harry Potter, Padfoot Pronghorn, right? Wasn't it? I'm sorry. Action. Now is the time to act. Opportunities are here. Move forward with confidence. Your talents will always help you land on the pinnacle. Your quick wit and keen senses will lead you to success. Oh my God, it is time to improvise, but it's also time to be very sure-footed, sure of yourself. Know that you have the skills to be able to improvise. These guys, if you've ever seen them, they're fucking phenomenal. I've seen them scale like vertical dams. A dam, like if a man-made dam, They found divots to be able to fucking like climb. These motherfuckers, it's because they're sure-footed. It's because they've grown and survived that they know that they can almost climb those vertical climbs without falling and without slipping. This is really awesome energy. It's time to act. You're ready. You can do this. You've got all that it takes. And personal choice. This is a really mystical card. Close your eyes. Right now, close your eyes. You shouldn't be looking at me. You should be, everything should be dark. You should be only hearing my voice right now. I really want you to just close your eyes. What animal do you imagine? You're going to leave those in the comments below. What strengths are they known for? What wisdom do they share? You're going to look that up on Google. Really, just Google whatever animal totem you saw in your head. Embrace these qualities, because it's those qualities of that animal totem that you saw in your head. It's those qualities that are going to help you through this transitional time in your life, and also help to keep you humble with all this success that's coming your way. There's a huge deluge breakthrough of success that's coming with your ability to change and move forward in integrity and confidence, but also flexibility and humility and humor. Oh man, that is so awesome. Okay, last but not least, we have direct messages from the angels that I want to share with you guys. Destiny. Your destiny is to blossom, to shine, to transform to an ever greater light. It's your destiny. It's your time. Just letting you know. Compassion. When you show greater compassion towards yourself, the universe automatically responds by showering you with greater blessings. Okay? Gratitude. Make gratitude your new attitude. Remember, you want to find ways, compassion and gratitude, to keep yourself humble and not get cocky, because that's going to ensure your integrity. Because this always has to be about integrity, the bigger picture, and helping people. Even if you become a billionaire from this, it can't be about your greed. If it becomes about your greed, you're going to fuck it up. And you're going to like be bought down by it. That's the warning in these cards. I can tell you that right now. Because in other words, this is about public recognition. People are seeing you. This is huge, huge visibility that's coming into your life. So if you act like a greedy motherfucker, you're going to be taken down. Like with great visibility becomes great responsibility. So there's a sense of, in these days prior to your huge success breakthrough, figure out a way to stay humble, get humble, and stay there. And that is through gratitude and constant genuflecting to the gods, to God, to the universe, being grateful to your angels, and also wanting to protect your family and not wanting them to get hurt, and wanting to show a good example for them and not wanting to exploit them. There are a lot of tethers here, and you're going to need them, because your rise is about to be meteoric. Gratitude. Make gratitude your new attitude. The stars will shine brighter upon you. All in your world will become lighter. Last but not least, Archangel Sandalphon is the archangel that is here helping you and guide you. If you want to learn more about him, go to Google, find out more about him. I bet you there's a ton of information. The message from Archangel Sandalphon: I have heard your call for help. Your prayer will soon be answered. You know what that is. It's between you and the angels. None of my business, but I'm so happy for you. I love you guys. If you have not yet subscribed to Born Without Boundaries, please do so. Share this video on your other social media platforms. I'd be happy for you to do so. Find me on Vimeo, where you can find extended deep dive tarot card reads. I have pages, hundreds of videos on Vimeo that you guys can look through. If you're drawn to the title, rent the video, and bada bing, bada boom, you've got your message for like $10. Of course, there's a ton of free content over on YouTube. Once you subscribe, you'll be privy to it as soon as it comes up. And then of course there's the weekly horoscope the weekly astrological forecast I do. That's always posted to my website and my Vimeo account. You'll also get a preview on Instagram, Born_without_boundaries on Instagram, where I do Monday through Friday a daily tarot card reading, which if you don't catch, as long as you're subscribed to my channel, or I'm sorry, you're an Instagram, you follow, whatever they call it, you subscriber, I don't even know what they call it anymore, but you'll be able to get access to the IGTV and you'll be able to see it anytime. Thank you so much, guys, for everything that you do for the channel, for helping me out. I really do appreciate it. Leave your comments below, because you do know that I love to know, and I'll see you or talk to you in the videos. Bye, guys. If you have made it to the end of the video, thank you. A big hug from me to you. God bless you all. God as in the universe, the angels, whatever God is to you. To me, God is the total of all things, past, present, and future, an omniscient and omnipresent force that we are as much a part of as a subjugate to. So it's like we are both master and servant. Isn't that nice to have to find a way to like be both, to find that complex balancing point between two extremes always is our constant goal. And being here with you and spiritual guidance always helps both of us. So thank you so much for your continued support of the channel. And I'll see you guys in the videos. Bye.